in theory, it makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're gonna help him learn a thing or two, but the execution is the part where it gets very, very messy.
Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Good Talk. And for today's topic, we'll be talking about cancel culture. So before we start, let's get to know our youths for today.
Hi, my name is Antoine.
Hi, I'm Dylan.
Hi, I'm Sharafa.
And I'm Lester. Yeah, so cancel culture, it refers to the popular practice of withdrawing support for public figures and companies after they have done or said something considered objectionable or offensive. So guys, what do we know about cancel culture in Singapore?
I think we know a lot of things. Like, you know, when you're on Twitter or Instagram, then you see like, it's the biggest news of the day, and then it becomes the biggest news for the week. They're kind of like, I can do justice, so I'm going to do justice as an individual in my community, but sometimes they can be a bit too extreme in my opinion.
Yeah, I think as well, when we think about cancel culture, I think the main issue is that it's not wrong to bring up the mistakes of a person with the intention to correct the person. But I feel like the reason why it becomes an extreme, it is because it ends up becoming a trend. It becomes something that everyone jumps on the bandwagon without understanding what's the full context. And it drives that whole trend over the edge. That's what makes it somewhat toxic, what some people will say about cancel culture.
It first started off as cancelling someone. So the process was to make it known to the public the errors and the mistakes of what people or companies have done, what they've said or their actions. One example I can think of is do you remember is it e-PayPal, the advertisement? And then there was this one guy who was acting as many different races.
Oh yeah.
So then after that, and they publish these mistakes, and so they have to apologize for it. But I feel that the masses have a very strong voice and opinion, and people involved in this cancel culture would bring more people into it. I think that's what makes it blow up so much.
I think Antoine brought up beliefs, and this cancel culture is something that they believe in, right? Like when Sharafa mentions, it is akin to putting somebody on the stake and say crucify him, right? but now you don't do that, right? You put them on a platform on social media and say crucify him instead.
Yeah.
And just want to ask you guys, what do you think this belief of cancel culture stems from?
I think there are two words for me. One is either you like self-righteous in that sense, like you believe that you are right. So because I believe that I'm right, I'm going to cancel someone. And there's another one about, being a social justice warrior. It's because this thing happened to my friend and I want to stand up for my friend. It gets blurred in the lines and like lost in translation, because what you're trying to do is maybe tell someone like, oh, okay, this person did that. But the thing is that everyone's going to hop on that trend and then like crucify him, put him up on social media, take a screenshot of his Instagram profile, and then you're going to all DM him, direct message him, and then you're going to like flame him on Instagram and then Twitter, then Facebook. Or
that feeling of proving someone wrong or making their mistakes known to everybody around the world, or it gets to people, where they feel like I have the power to make a difference. As usual, it will all mass into one giant ball of people cancelling someone, and then it just blows up.
So I think because nowadays we understand how media works, we understand how social trends work. If we are able to cultivate that story and make it gain enough attention on its own, that's where we are like, okay, we have a shot at this. We have a shot of making something right. Basically, we have that platform. And also in our generation, I think specifically for Gen Z, we literally have nothing to lose in a way. We don't really have to do much to make our voice heard. So I think because there's nothing that we have to invest as much, which is why a lot of people push forward with their own causes as well. That's why they are so persistent in doing what they wish to do, like on social media also.
Can I also just add on really quick? You guys know Batman, right? Like, he's my personal all-time favorite superhero, right? The reason why he is self-righteous in that sense is because the justice system in Gotham was failing. Right, there were drugs on the street, the families were taking over, the crime families were taking over. But in Singapore, we don't have that kind of rationale. Like, you don't need to cancel someone to cancel something, you know what I mean? Like, we should avoid the person, but we should talk about what they did.
I feel that a lot of the cancel culture, the motivation is good. It's something that they believe in, something that they stand for. For example, somebody posted a racist tweet years back, or a homophobic tweet years back, like 5-10 years ago. They won't say 5 years ago, right? They'll just say this person is homophobic. When somebody somebody tries to cancel somebody, all these things are conveniently left out, so they are able to push their narrative that I stand for equality. The initial motivation is right, but the execution really can be improved. What do you think about the effects of cancel culture?
I think if I ever got cancelled, I'll move to a different country.
Actually, there was one case. There was that lady who posted a racist comment on Facebook. She has moved over to Australia.
It really depends on how badly you get cancelled and like how well you defend yourself. You know what I mean? Because there's always like two sides to every story, but the side that is most believed is normally the side that wins. In a sense, like if you got as cancelled as some people, you would want to go overseas. But if you get cancelled, but you manage to defend yourself like in a very strategic manner, like you post a video and you explain everything, and then you find loopholes in the other person's story, you could actually in fact come out as a hero in a sense. And then the cancel culture will have a reverse effect on you.
There's also the effect on your mental health. Because of how strong cancel culture is, it leads to these kind of things where people have always take note of what they're going to post, what they're going to say. Anybody can be cancelled at any time. It takes a toll on people.
I think you also feel unsafe. I don't know, like, cause imagine you walk into an MRT and you've been cancelled, right? And then everyone is looking at you, everyone knows who you are. Everything that is online about you would be sniffed out because everything is just online. You know, it's very easy to find.
When people see you, they only know one version of you, which is basically the version that you are being put out on social media. It's very one-dimensional. They don't understand you as a whole. While the effects long-term can be very detrimental, but also it's very difficult to get out because there is no culture of giving a second chance after. Because they think like, oh, you're a bad person and that's it. But no, even after you've done a mistake, there's no outlet for you to show that you've improved, that you've changed for the better. And that's an issue. I feel like that's a bigger issue than cancel culture itself. Because sure, you're being cancelled, okay? If you've improved, you need to show that. But then with the current climate that we are seeing right now, not many people are willing to open up to these people again. And that's quite sad.
I just want to find out from you guys, does cancel culture deny people the chance to change for the better?
I think cancel culture is a ruthless cycle where basically it just goes round and round where people get cancelled. I feel that what Dylan said about how people might view it as this person made such a big mistake but came back from it and was stronger. There will be people like that, but you have to look at the other end of the spectrum as well, where there are people who would think, I just cancelled someone and they admitted the mistake. I feel good about myself. I did something that proved someone wrong. I like this feeling. I'm going to continue. So this cycle just continues. You know, even if people acknowledge their mistake, that could lead to more cancelling. Of course, at the end of the day, things will be forgotten, but never truly gone. When people try to do good, they are mistaken to be seen as just trying to get out of this cancel culture bubble. So even if there are ways, I feel that no matter how hard you try, there will still be people out there who won't believe.
How do you foresee cancel culture evolving?
Nothing stays the same, honestly. It's ever evolving. I don't think so it's going to get better because of just how quick social media is going to get, because of how quick trends is going to really keep up with people. But it's not going to get worse either, because I think by then the government, or rather the political system, will understand how quick they have to acknowledge the issues. Yeah, it's just a matter of time before policies get stricter or better or worse. The change in the whole situation is also very, very dependable based on the person, like I mentioned.
Young people will want to stand for something that we believe in, and that might spur them into this cancel culture. Yeah, so let's remember that people are capable of change. I think we've seen success stories like that, and I hope to see more of it. Yeah, and conversations like this really help. And if we are able to forgive and help someone progress, and they can change for better, and we'll be able to live in a place that everybody is more forgiving. So that's all we have for you in this episode, and until next time, bye.
Bye. I feel like I was moving so much. I was like this, then I was like that, then I was like that.